They say the dead tell no tales. But in my company, they whispered secrets only I could hear. I was born in Fraserburgh, Scotland, in 1945, a quiet child with a penchant for solitude. My early years were marked by a profound sense of isolation, a chasm between myself and the world that only widened with time. The sea was my first companion, its cold embrace a mirror to the emptiness I felt within. After a stint in the army as a cook, I moved to London, seeking anonymity in the city's sprawling labyrinth. But the void persisted, gnawing at me, an insatiable hunger for connection. I found solace in the transient company of young men, drifters whose disappearances would go unnoticed. It began in 1978, at 195 Melrose Avenue. Stephen Holmes was the first, a fleeting acquaintance met in a pub. I lured him to my flat with promises of music and drink. As dawn approached, a dread settled over me, the thought of his departure was unbearable. In a moment of clarity, I realized the solution: if he could not leave, would never be alone. I strangled him with a necktie, watching as life ebbed from his eyes, and then drowned him in a bucket of water to ensure his silence. His lifeless body became my companion. I bathed him, dressed him, spoke to him as if he could hear. For days, he remained with me, a silent partner in my solitary world. But decay is relentless, and I knew I had to part with him. I concealed his remains beneath the floorboards, the first of many to find their resting place in the hidden recesses of my home. The pattern repeated itself over the years, men lured by the facade of companionship, only to become permanent residents in my morbid collection. Each act was driven by a desperate need to possess, to stave off the crushing loneliness that haunted me. I would sit with their bodies, sharing my day, my thoughts, as if they could offer the understanding I so craved. But secrets fester, much like the bodies beneath my floor. The stench became overwhelming, a putrid reminder of my deeds. I took to dissecting the remains, boiling the flesh from their bones, flushing parts down the toilet, and burning others in a bonfire, masking the scent with tire rubber. It was a grotesque ritual, each act a futile attempt to erase the evidence of my loneliness. In 1983, my sins caught up with me. Blocked drains led to the discovery of human remains, and the police arrived at my doorstep. I confessed with a detached calm, detailing the deaths of 15 men, though only 12 could be confirmed. The trial was swift. I was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a recommendation that I never be released. Now, in the confines of my cell, I am alone with my thoughts, the very isolation I sought to escape. The faces of those I silenced visit me in the dark, their whispers a constant reminder of the monster I became. I am Dennis Nilsen, a man consumed by the abyss within, leaving a trail of death in a futile quest for companionship.